It's Kiss on Glasses.
Hello guys, what's up? It's another Friday and we're back here. Welcome to the Gist on Glasses podcast. I'm so in fact, let me say it. Thank God it's Friday. You know, Fridays are like my favorite time of the week. Why? Because every Friday by 6 p.m., an amazing, brand new, fresh new episode of Gist on Glasses podcast is going to drop, and we advise you, whatever you're going to be doing, watch it, take your time to enjoy the show, enjoy the contents that we create for you guys at home. Some of you might not watch this, maybe to like Saturday when you're in the gym, you're working out, or you're taking a jog. Some of you may be listening to it on Spotify. Whatever it is that you're doing, just make sure that you watch every episode that we bring your way. This week is not going to be any different. It's going to be a sweet, amazing time. We're going to have fun.
Gets better.
Yeah. It sure does get better. We're going to have fun. We're going to have a lot of conversations that is going to shake tables today. And before we get into that, let me make welcome my guy, my bro. How far, man? What's happening?
I'm happy, man.
You're back here.
I'm back. It's been like forever, and it's a pleasure.
Yes.
No place like home, definitely. So.
Definitely. So it's been a great time to have you back here.
Thank you.
And of course, today we're going to be having the one and only mind-blowing... God, Storm, no go kill me. We're gonna be having Man, Storm, Taddy. How about, bro? What's up?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
What's up, my guy? What is that?
Man.
Oh, black and black drip, man. I'm feeling it.
Opportunity, man.
I'm feeling it.
One of my neighbors was complaining some days ago. She said, "Do you have any other color of clothes? If you're not doing black, you're doing white."
You know, I was telling someone that black is easy. It's like very, very easy to go with black.
Very easy.
You know,
very
easy.
I don't like the stress of other colors and.
Okay, we've gotten that out of the way. We've introduced our guest for today, who happens to be my guy Storm, and let me just go over this before we start the conversation, and then I introduce the topic, because today a lot of people, gang. Okay, so Calvin Mann Storm, popularly known as Storm Taddy, is from Du Village in Josat local government, Plateau State. He's a graphic designer, photographer, illustrator, and a multiple award-winning rap artist. He is passionate about Plateau State. That one very, very short. And even contested in the 2019 general election. So it's okay for me to call you honorable.
Please, by all means.
He's the founder of Mann Studios, an art and design company here in Jos, Nigeria. It's such a pleasant time to have you here. We really appreciate you taking our time. Honorable for coming to this performance. Okay, guys. So today the topic we're going to be discussing is hookup culture in Nigeria, and it is. I don't know how to say. I feel like the first thing, a good place to start this conversation is, how did we get here? Because it is. Hey, God have mercy. It is like every girl out there right now is a hookup girl.
I don't see every. A lot.
That's what I'm saying. It is most likely that every girl out there is a hookup girl, and it's a big problem. I don't know what is the driving force or what is the inspiration behind this, but then I'm sure that at the end of this conversation, we'll try as much as possible to see how we can shed light on some of these things and see the possible ways out. So I don't know. I don't have any question in mind. I just want us to
just talk about
it. So, in your own perspective, how did you get here?
I think there are quite a number of factors that I think. One of which is I would like to blame the men.
Yeah.
And this is why. If a lot of fathers played the role they should have in their daughters' lives, they would understand that certain things should not be normal. But a lot of fathers are more concerned about I provide for you than I mentor you. So it became a serious problem. because in older societies, you see that fathers and daughters really had that bond. Yes, and so because of that, you would see that it wasn't really about money.
Yeah.
It was about values. And so when my father instills the right values in me, no matter what you're offering to me, it will not entice me because I have a value. But we are now in a society where men are really absent in the home front. So you see a man leaves home very early, comes back pretty late, and then there's no proper contact with the children. That is also a problem. I understand that times have changed, men need to work and all that, but the little contact that a father should have with his children should be one of intent and communication, giving and taking back from them, noticing and paying attention to a lot of things that happen in your children's life. But we're in a day and time where a lot of men are not doing that, and then we're in a society where we have weaker men, where because you have a child that is now a little more successful than you are or you could ever be, and you feel you cannot correct the child because the child is the one feeding you and providing for you. I remember about 2 months ago, I was told of a lady that would tell her father to shut up. Here in Jos.
Nah, man, you're capping.
No, I'm very
in
serious.
this our Jos.
Yes, in this Jos. She is somewhat successful and popular on social media, and she felt, I have a life that my father and his brothers put together cannot afford, or you see that things like that are part of the reason we are here, because certain fathers have failed, so they do not care and ask the questions: where did you get that? Where did you go to? Why are you doing this? Some of those things are things that a lot of men have stopped doing.
No accountability too.
So the fact that you stop doing that, the child will act anyhow.
You just said something that parents no longer ask questions. I remember growing up, I had 3 elder sisters. No, sorry, 2 elder sisters and a younger sister. And there's something my mom always does. If she sees anything that she did not buy from any of my sisters, they are going to answer for it and take it back. Now, I feel like generally our values as people has been lost totally. We've lost our values so much so that the new value right now is money.
I don't think it's even money, because if the value was really money, people would know how to make it and sustain it. But people just want to have the money to prove a point. Now that's the second point I'm trying to make. The social media culture has a lot of ladies in hookup culture, because I think a lot of them have, first off, low self-esteem and inferiority complex. That's why they feel that they need to wear the same human hair or the best human hair like the other person, or have the same designer bags, which we know in Nigeria more than, maybe, I don't know the numbers, but a great number of the so-called designers that people have are just fakes. So it's more or less like you're trying to kill yourself to own a fake. So it's more or less like a competition with you guys that I don't understand why. So we have the issue of absent fathers and weak fathers or weak men. Then we have social media culture that makes everything superficial. So you just want to do stuff to prove a point. Oh, my friend, her boyfriend just bought her a 1 million naira human hair. Why can't you buy? So social media is putting a lot of these girls under pressures. And it still boils down to the home front. If they were taught the right things, they will know what is important in their lives and what is not. Because some of the women you see in life that are successful, they've spent like 30 years of their lives to get there. And you're in your early 20s or you're in your 30s, some 50-year-old women have not had their lives all put together. So why do you want to put your life under pressure or in a situation where you would have to go into hookup? Then again, there's a third factor, which I feel is motivation. Sometimes in the past, I just felt that everybody was doing hookup because probably they had weak fathers or weak men in their lives, or because of peer pressure and they need to prove a point. But then again, there are people that circumstances have led them into hookup culture. I saw a video on TikTok, was it TikTok or Facebook last week, where the lady was into hookup. She's 41 years old. She doesn't look like it. But her story was, she lost her mother. The father married a second wife. And from the way she spoke, you know that this person is well-read, well exposed. But as the second wife came, life became hell for them, that she and her brother had to run away from Maiduguri to Abuja. And she used hookup to pay her brother's tuition in ABU Zaria. And she said that this is not something to be proud of. She has tried to go out of it with her certificate and all. She has not been able to get a decent job. And so you could imagine that somebody who was born in let's say luxury of some sort, or with a certain standard of life, you're losing all of that. You would want to sustain that life or something close to it. So the motivation for me, the motivation to why some people end up in hookup culture is my concern. Like her, in as much as I would want to say that, or society would want to say, oh, there are other things, should have just hustle, do this, that. You know, society has her opinion. It's easy to say. But when you listen to her, you will know that for every day that she has been doing this, she's in constant pains and regret. And she says she has to take sedatives to make herself normal. So you know that she hates what she's doing. Because she said, what normal person would want to be in a position where you have to sleep with men to survive?
Not just men, random men. She even spoke about an experience she had somewhere in Abuja where the guy invited her as a hookup girl, and then he tasered her. He had a taser. He was like, he loves ladies in pain. It turns him on. So you would see that some of them they hate what they are doing, and they're in dangerous circumstances and situations, but they don't have any other option. Now, that motivation is something that I could empathize with and maybe want to pay attention to that person and say, okay, this person really needs help. They don't like what they are doing. But then again, there are people that have not even tried other options, because she said she has tried other options. And I would like to believe that she actually tried.
That she tried because of how she spoke. And when the guy that was recording, he told her he's recording, and she said she doesn't mind. She wants her story to go out, but they should just blur her face a little bit. You would see that she wants other girls to know that I'm doing hookup, but this is not the way. She said she needs help, and when she gets herself back, she wants to go on a campaign educating ladies about the disadvantages of this. So you see, there are different motivations to why some of these girls,
to be very, very honest here, society has a way of antagonizing people when they do certain things. Now, this is not we here endorsing some of these things, but
they are not.
The older I get, and the older I get, and the more I realize that life is not as easy as easy like that.
Life in your head, and life in reality are two different things.
So I'm of course I'm not justifying anything anybody is doing. Like, we have a lot of people, young people, who are into various activities to make ends meet. Young boys they are becoming internet fraudsters. They are getting involved with ritual killings and
I think it still boils down to what one of the things I said earlier. It's because we are weaker men.
True.
That you come on Facebook and then you feel intimidated or you feel less of yourself because the next guy bought a Mercedes Benz or an iPhone. Is that what your life is all about? Because the truth is, as good as all those things are, when you have them, you realize that then
it doesn't really mean anything.
Then what next? There were a lot of things that I wanted. When I got them, I was like, okay, the feeling I expected to get when
you didn't
not.
get it.
So
now looking for the next thing to change.
I just use myself as a case study. If I'm not getting this kind of satisfaction from this thing I was chasing unnecessarily, and then I'm coming online to make it look like I'm living the life, then I'm not the only one doing that. A lot of people are living a lie. That means a great percentage of people on social media are living a lie. You see some girls, every chilling spot, they are taking pictures in the bathroom or in that place, they are looking nice. But if you go and see some of their houses, it's terrible. The energy that you use to go to those places and those monies you spend there, if you put them together, if you start to sell gonjo or perfume or do something, but some of them don't have sense. And that's where I have problems.
Just a standard, so that the next person that is coming around knows that.
So
you can't take me to anywhere
that's
lesser
where
than
I have
here.
a problem, because right now, the rise of hookup culture, especially in the younger generation, is because I want to prove a point. I want to show social media that me too, I'm living the life. And it's a terrible way to live your life, man. Because if you, like Chris said, if you live for their validation, you will die from their rejection.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So why? It won't make sense.
Honestly, it doesn't. Looking back at how we grew up,
Yeah.
and how the younger guys are coming up, there's a lot of differences in the upbringing that we had. Growing up, I remember my parents taking full responsibility of everything that concerned me. I think, some of us are
Enterprising.
we are enterprising, and we try to go out there to make something happen for ourselves and all of that. But you could clearly tell that our parents were actively involved in our our upbringing, our growing up. They took every responsibility that was needed to be taken. And now, you see parents, they are proudly telling you that their children are the ones taking care of. Not like it's a bad thing to take care of your parents, but how do you explain to me that a young girl who is 18, 19 or 20 or 22 gets admission, she's going to school, and you as the father, she's going to come and tell her bye-bye, and then she comes back every semester, change of new clothes,
And you're not asking questions.
phones, expensive items, and
You're okay.
You're okay.
So it still boils down to one of the things I said earlier. It's because we
You're
have
okay.
absent men and we have weak men. How weak men? If you teach a child, Bible wasn't wrong. Train a child in the way that he should go. When he is old, he will not depart from it. It means that no matter how far they go astray, they will still come back because
Find
it's
their
their
way back.
default.
Mm.
But because the fathers or the parents were not doing what they should do in the formative part of the child's life, so you cannot ask the child questions. You can't. When I'm seeing you do certain things, you don't get mine to talk to me about them now, because as a parent, I realize that children would copy what you're doing more than what you're telling them to do.
Yeah.
Your words don't
mean
It's
anything.
not like
all of
we
us,
do as
we
I
have
say.
parents now. How many times have your parents' words mean
So much.
Sometimes they don't mean so much because we are seeing them and we want to be like them, because it's just in our nature to want to idolize our parents. It's human nature. You want to do certain things. So if you're seeing your mother, she's some small details is showing that she's pushing you to hookup culture. She may not come out to say it. Yeah, but you're noticing it. Children are not as dumb as some parents or adults want to think. They are not. And so because of that, they are learning, they are seeing stuff. And then when you tomorrow that mother come and say, don't make it a card when she, and the daughter will tell her, a man came for that kazakwa and you did this, you acted this way. You may not have said it or encouraged, but some of your body languages or some of the things you did encouraged it.
Yeah.
So the child learns it subliminally, it enters their heads
Subconscious.
and it's there. So parents have a big role to play. Social media has contributed. Inferiority complex and people that don't understand what their life is all about is part of the reason. Because if you know the purpose of your life, you will not think that hookup culture to buy a hair or iPhone should be a big deal.
And the ideas behind some of these
Or Lambo.
no, you are getting to that part. The idea behind some of the energy they put into, I just don't. You hear people say the dumbest things, like you are killing yourself all for material, like really dumb. If you're actually like doing it for like, okay, I want to do this so that I can do. But the things they are dying for are
and the
stupid
funny
things.
thing is, we are not, the truth is, our generation, we are not as smart as our ancestors' generation.
Sure.
If we were, some of the nonsense that is going on in society right now will never happen. As backwards as we thought they were decent people.
Yes.
We're not saying in every phase of society they aren't deviant. They were deviant. But the great majority were decent people.
Yeah.
That's why then a guy wants to get married, they'll say, go to that house.
Family.
Go to that family. They have good girls. A greater population had decency. But now we are trying to be so much Western that even if you get there, they will use racism finish you. So what is the point? What is the point? Because I need to understand why God has given you beautiful hair. You cannot maintain. If God wanted you to have silky hair, He will give you silky hair. But He gave you woolly hair. So there's a way that woolly hair should be taken care of. But you have refused to take care of it. That is why you think that relaxer is important for your hair. That's why you think that you need to go and buy one woolly hair somewhere in the name of human hair to look good and all that, and put it on. That's why you feel that you need to shave off your eyebrow and draw it back. I still don't understand the motivation behind that, or why you have to go and do BBL. So part of the problem is we have a lot of young people or young girls that are not comfortable with their own skin. So they feel that real fulfillment and real accomplishment is things that you get externally and add to yourself. And to me, it doesn't make any sense. If you
I think that's not even just girls. I think young people generally. That's why you need to have like a physical. You need to have like a certain phone or certain have like a phone. How you dress.
I think it's because they don't have a value system.
Yes,
there's no value system.
I'm saying.
I'll give you an example.
Brother.
I've been using this phone. I bought it brand new though, but I've been using it for the last 5 years. Does it work? Do I make calls with it? So if it's not broken, why fix it?
And in recent time, you've changed your camera how many times?
Because my camera gives me more money.
No, I'm just trying to make you talk about that because
it gives
your phone
me
is just a phone.
My camera can buy my phone maybe 4 times over. It brings value. It pays my bills. It pays for my son's tuition. It takes care of my family. So it brings value to me. But a hair, what value does some overpriced, ugly looking hair? Because I don't even like a lot of those hair. I don't like them. And so if you ask them, they'll say, we are doing it for you people. That's what guys like. I know I speak for a large percentage of guys when I say that we really don't care.
Now you need to oppress other their fellow women.
So I think the hookup culture. They are doing it for themselves. They are not doing it for us. And the downsides to it is the fact that at the end of the day, who goes suffer? Because it's just like when we talk about it, they want to compare. But guys are doing this. We have guys sleeping around too now. Blah blah blah. And one example I would like to use is like a master key. Right? A master key can open a lot of doors. They'll call it master key because it can open a lot of doors. But if any key can open just that padlock, what do they call it?
A shitty lock.
You just don't want to use their street language. If not, you get the point.
A shitty lock.
So I get what you're saying, right? I think there's another part that we've probably not touched on, right?
Yeah.
Which is not wanting to be too committed or like emotionally invested in relationships, so to say.
That's why they are doing hookup.
Yes, I think
I don't think they are not. It's because everything they want is superficial. That is why they are not emotionally invested. If you're emotionally invested in anything, you will not just want to hit and run. You'll be there for the long run.
Runner.
Cheers.
Runner.
Do you understand?
You're here to hit and run, you're here for the long run.
It's because she knows that if she doesn't sleep with XYZ, she may not have the next iPhone, or she may not be able to pay the rent to the fake life that in that kind of environment that she will not be able to sustain her life. And I think what they should concern themselves about is not the value they get on themselves, but the value they get in themselves. Because this is it's not the men
again. Not the value they get on themselves, the value they get in themselves. Okay.
So you see, at the end of the day, the men that are investing in hookup culture, a lot of them, they're giving you peanuts from what they really have. Right?
No, you can easily throw that to you.
And what the downsides to it is, let's say you're with this guy and you were living here and he elevated your life 10 times more than you ever imagined, and he took you here, and then he breaks up with you. How do you sustain that? But instead of building you superficially,
holistically.
Yes, holistically, yes. He invested in your business, in you going to business school or learning a skill and all that kind of stuff. I think that would be a better investment. It's not like I'm encouraging hookup, but you see that you can count how many girls did hook up to start up a business. You can count them. But the larger population, that's not the point.
You know, there's this trend now that you'd realize that a lot of young girls will come on social media and say things like, oh, God did, you know, this one just bought a house, this one just did that. And I feel like we really need to start holding people accountable for what they really say, and, you know, really knowing fully well what exactly are you doing?
Okay, now the thing is, social media is full of a lot of delusional people.
True.
And let me explain. You know, as a guy or a girl, you're not finding it easy. And you're seeing a classmate of yours that your background is more advantageous than where he's coming from or where she's coming from. You know that na the same labor market una dey, and then like this, the person is balling more than your father. Great things take time.
Favor na favor.
Let's just start telling ourselves the truth. See, there was a time that I used to
surrounds me.
All those kind of things, they make me feel some type of way. Like, say they oppress me when I say, oh boy, see my mate. And I remember how I go back to my parents and say, see, this is my guy doing this. But the older I became, I realized that I lied. Some of these people are fraudsters. They are ritualists. Some of these girls now hook up girls. So if not grace by grace,
girls yes.
If not grace by grace, we not go come close to a lot of us.
Yes, true.
It's the truth. So I should be moved because you did hook up and you have car. So if you have to, That no. How? Let me put this thing the right way. So you cannot take care of yourself till you sleep with a man. Like waiting there, your brain no fee gets you anything.
You know, sorry, let me say this before I forget. I was watching this. There's this podcast that I follow, and is it Luke on Luke's show? I can't remember, but the guy was saying that a lot of women, if you take out their brain and put it in the body of a man, that man will die of poverty. And when I heard it, I had to play back, like it slapped really hard, because you as an entirety of a whole person, you don't have any value that you can create. It's very, very depressing for me when I meet people. First of all, when I meet people who are crazily indulge in money, like money, it pisses me off.
Money is good though.
Yes, no doubt. Like we are here.
Bible said money answered all things. It's good. It's important.
Very, very good and very, very important.
But when you're making it like that is the essence of your life.
Yes, of life.
Like and so because of that, you see, you're not building relationships. You're not building your spirituality. You're not building anything else. It's just that crazy rat race for the money. Okay, you get the money. What next?
Else? I saw this thing somewhere say, may we never be so poor that the only thing you have is money.
That's crazy.
Very, very crazy.
And then I think I learned something recently. Some of the richest men in the world, at their level, it's not money.
Yeah.
It's not money. What is important to them is the relationships they create. That is why a billionaire may not have a dime in his account, but he knows if he calls another billionaire friend and says, I need 1 billionaire, he will get 1 billionaire because of the relationship he has created.
Okay, so this thing you said now, I don't know, this is out of the blues. It's probably not our main talk. It may just be a quick detour. So now you have like a background in like branding and all of that. So I want you to just use that as an illustration, right?
Yeah.
So for an average, let's say, hookup girl or somebody that wants to do hookup or someone that did hookup, how can this affect you as a brand? Like if everyone sees themselves as...
But everybody is a brand.
That's what I'm trying to say. If everyone is more conscious of the fact that I'm a brand, I cannot indulge in certain things. I can't say certain things. I can't do certain things. I can't be seen doing certain things. I think it may put us like, it may hold the reins on some of these things. So I just want you to just touch a bit on that.
First off, there are things that we may have done because we didn't know any better. And moving forward, some of those things can be excused when they see that who you are now is not who you were. But when it comes to a lady, they are disadvantaged, and it's not because we want it to be that way, but because that is how life is. That's why I feel that a lot of ladies are delusional. When you say, okay, she did hook up, so what? She has stopped now. For a lady, it is different because purity is the value of a woman.
Word.
No matter how you want to put it.
So this freedom is not really freedom. The freedom that comes with hooking up or casual sex, so to say.
There is not even just for the ladies, right? Not just for the ladies, but when you understand your purpose, okay, this is who I want to be in life. This is what I want to achieve. There are certain things that you will not allow because you know they'll create a dent in the reputation and the image you want to create moving forward. Because a perfect brand is not built overnight. It takes time because you have to be invested in people. And so branding is not what you show people. Because it's you. Because that's what everybody is doing on social media. They are showing people what they are not. That is not branding. Branding is when people experience you and their judgment of you. That's what branding is. So for instance, everybody's saying, let's say they say Mann Studios is one of the best brands, right? And then someone comes and has a crazy experience with Mann Studios. That is his own brand of Mann Studios. So when when someone's working on a brand, you're not working on one brand. You're working on millions of brands. As an individual, interfacing with a lot of people. So those are 1,000 or 1,000,000 brands you're interfacing with, right? So if you're very deliberate. Not everybody may enjoy that brand because of personal preference, but it is our responsibility to be very intentional. I'll use myself for example. There are things I did when I was younger, a lot of them really careless. But now it takes me more time to clean that. And part of the reason why it's a little easier for me is because, one, society has structured it that it is easier somehow for men
to get away with a lot of things. Not really, Sha, but
do you understand? Not really,
but
because I'll give you an instance. If a guy sleeps around and a girl sleeps around, in 5 years' time, when they're having the conversation, it's not the same reaction you will get from people. Because for the guy to say he was a guy, he didn't know any better. But purity has been attached to the woman. So it's a big deal.
So non-conformists, so to say, have nothing, like that's still delusional thinking.
It's delusional thinking.
You know, I don't know how this conversation got here. Talking about a brand, there's this video that was trending a few weeks ago about a girl that was, after they've been with you, then they now do fake transfer.
No, I think those were two different videos.
Oh,
yes, two different videos. The first video, the lady said she was interviewed by a content creator in Abuja, where she said just men are lazy. Then she went back. Okay, the question was, what are your people known for?
Okay,
and she said laziness. And then she said just men are lazy, but then again the women are very hardworking. Then there are a few, and I felt it was what she said was very hypocritical, because the question was, what are your people known for? And your answer was laziness. So it means it encompasses everybody. Since your people, including you, are known for laziness, then under the same breath you come and say, but the ladies are. You would have said, if they said, what are the men from your place known for? That's different. But they said, what are your people known for? So you're saying the women are hardworking contradicts your first answer.
Yes.
People are not so dumb. And there has been a lot of debate and conversation about just men being broke or just men being lazy. And I don't want to agree to that. I think it's very disrespectful, very, very, very insulting to insinuate that just men or plateau men are lazy. And I will explain. Everything in human history, everything that humans need to survive on was built by men. No matter the society you find yourself, majority of it were built by men. Were there women who invented stuff and innovated stuff? Yes, but the greater population of men did, and are the reason we're enjoying a lot of things we're enjoying. Let's bring it back home. If they say that the men are lazy, who owns the farms? Is it through laziness that our fathers, our grandfathers own those properties? Because a typical plateau man is content with the little he has, does not mean you will project your ambition to mean he is lazy. Some people really and genuinely don't care about being millionaires or billionaires.
True.
They really don't want. So long as they can eat daily, they have a roof over their head, they have clothes on their back, they are fine. So because of that, you don't call them lazy, because that is what they want for their life. You want more. Nobody's judging you for wanting more, but you do not insult someone who is content. That's one. Secondly, let us look at the greater structure of Nigeria as a whole. Some states are more advantaged than some. For instance, in the northwest, I think Kano is the economic capital of the north. You come to Kaduna. Kaduna is the political headquarters of the north. So because of that, the two of them, as far as that goes, will do better economically. Abuja is the capital of Nigeria. So there is a lot of investments that it will drag in because it is the capital. Lagos was the capital of the western region. It was also the capital of Nigeria before, is it 91 or 93, that it was moved to Abuja. So because of that, Lagos already has an advantage. For instance, Lagos has the highest number of young people in Africa that are millionaires in dollars. So why would you want to compare their advantage with Plateau State, where the greater population of Plateau people are just simple, content people? Now it's exposure and education, or modern education, that is making us want more. But even with that, you have Plateau people that went to school, some are professors, but they still want a simple life.
True, a lot of them.
We see our fathers now. Our fathers work hard. Some of them are, if you go check some of our Popsy accounts, you go shock. But they just want a simple life. They don't want to even look like their bank accounts. They don't want people to know that they have those type of monies in their bank accounts. They just want to be simple. Some of our fathers get better cars, but you still see your Popsy, my Popsy, they blow keke. He just doesn't feel like driving. Would you say he's broke because you saw him inside keke? That's one thing I like with Igbo men. You see, he's a multi-millionaire, but how he looks, or what even Hausa men, or what they have in their bank, doesn't look like them. So that means that there are a lot of Plateau men that may not have that kind of money you're thinking they should have in their bank, but the land they have is more valuable than the money you feel you have in your bank account. And so if they put that money, maybe that girl will talk that nonsense. If they check the money which she get for accounts, no reach or past 500k. Then she has one small apartment she's paying for in Abuja. Maybe she's paying 250, 300k. Let us say 500k.
No, you don't increase Abuja.
Mo just try. Let's say she has 500k in her account, right? And then she's driving a small car. Because even based on Abuja standards, that girl is broke.
Yes, very, very broke.
But because you're now among the broke people that is kind of richer than the average content just person, you think that because you left home and you got that small money, you're better than somebody in just. It doesn't make sense. Because the truth is, life is more expensive in Abuja, so you need, or in Lagos, so you need to make money commensurate to the lifestyle there. 500k salary could not be anything in Abuja, but in Jos is a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Because with 500k, it means that I can start building a house. Yeah. You can't do that in Abuja. With 500k, it means that that's even far. How much, when I got married, how much was I earning? Let us be, it's factual now. True. So because I don't have a lot of money, man, no marry.
Hell no.
So you cannot compare the standards of a different place. So if you want to compare Jos with other places based on money, then compare them with their mates.
Yeah.
If you want to compare Lagos with another state that is probably started the same time, had the same advantages and all that. And Plateau State has been at disadvantage in a lot of ways. We've had attacks on our people in villages. So how do you want them to farm to make the money? We've had a lot of political crisis, because I wouldn't want to call it religious crisis. I feel they are politically inspired, because a lot of us have relatives, we have friends that are of different religions, and we are cool.
Cool, very cool.
But they just use the religion as a guise.
Yeah.
So you see that the average Plateau man is not lazy. Enter town, how many women they see they drive keke? The bus drivers and taxi drivers, are they women? Because
they are lazy bus drivers.
So because you see a lot of women in the markets doing petty trading, and also because you just see them, you feel that they are hardworking, and other
you feel like their husbands that are lazy.
and their husbands are lazy, that's why they are doing petty trading. Probably some of them. So those that are doing in all those tin mining pits, there are ladies now that are in the tin mining pits. All the big constructions going on, it now women they do them now. Go to every construction site. It's the easiest work that the women are doing. They're the ones packing the sand and taking to the laborers that are doing the real tedious. How many? Do you know any lady that is a welder?
No, I don't know of any.
Or you know any lady that is a panel beater?
None yet.
I saw yesterday. It was news. One lady that is painting cars. I'm like, is this supposed to be news? Men have been painting cars for millennia. No guy is making
it's
news.
It's like as an adult, you give yourself accolades for paying your rent.
It doesn't make sense. You're a freaking adult.
Before
you're painting cars to make a living. Who will do it for you?
That's interesting.
So no, platoon men are not lazy.
You know, I really wanted to. For me, the what caught my attention wasn't the first lady, was the other one.
Okay, then let's get to the second lady.
The other lady that was saying that the guys will sleep with you and
before they give you one small money.
give you fake transfer.
No, it was the guy that said fake transfer. They interviewed the guy after.
Okay.
Now let us talk about
for you to be comfortable enough to even put it out there in public.
That means you're even telling people that hookup culture is a thing for just. I wish just girls roasted her, but they didn't, because that dismarketed a lot of our sisters, our girlfriends, our wives. So you're trying to say that because they ask her between just girls and Lagos, just guys and Lagos guys, which one do you like more? They say before they give you money, they go knock you tired. That means you're telling the entire world that just girls are available for men to sleep with before a just guy will give her 10,000 or 5,000 naira. Do you know how insulting? A lot of people don't understand the gravity of what that girl said. And when she came out to talk about it, she said it's just cruise. What kind of cruise is that? It goes back down to the branding we are talking about. That means you gave a negative impression. We have a lot of just girls that are doing amazingly well and don't give a damn about a lot of guys' money.
Yeah. Honestly.
Go to Kugia market. You see, there's a girl that I'm with. If you see her shape, you see how beautiful. She's well-read, well-spoken. She was selling tomato in Kugia.
Cutting across different levels, from corporate to business.
Then you come out tech. When did just say you just like Lagos guys? Let it end at that.
Yeah.
But then again, you just guys go sleep with you. They no go give you money. Before they give you money, they go sleep. Are you that cheap? That it will be 5 rounds of knocking or 5 different times of knocking before you get 10,000 naira. So if they spread it, that means per knock. If not 5 times in knock you, per knock if not 5 times, now 2k. Then the other guy came and he said, just boys, we no get money, now spam we get to give. Do you know how insulting that is?
Now waiting.
Now spam we get to give.
Damn,
do you know how stupid and insulting that is? I've been built by April 1st. Mann Studios will be 6 years. I've been building that for 6 years. I know other guys have been building their brands for 10 years.
I didn't even hear that part. Yesterday when we were talking, when I told you that I've been running my business for since 2015. You were surprised?
Yes.
Then one idiot. I didn't hear this part. This one paying me.
That means this year is 10 years.
10 years.
Can't shake me, sir.
A lot of young people in Jos are building and doing incredible stuff. We have people like Jerry Malo, who won an award for innovation during the last administration. Is he a lazy guy?
No way.
Has been building that thing with blood, sweat,
and tears.
There's this guy that I love so much. I think he's in Bokos that builds cars.
Yes,
that's a Jerry Malo guy.
Okay, that's my guy.
He's investing and building machinery in the agricultural sector. Then we have another guy that won an award for innovation, Zhang, who builds power banks made in Jos. he invited me to his new factory that they will start making USB cords made in Jos. My company did the brand identity system for his brand, and I felt very excited knowing that there would be power banks and USB cords with the logo that I created. It's really something impressive. We have Mafen Sele that won award also for innovation in carpentry. The guy is doing innovative and really cool stuff in carpentry. We have Dalia Dungom that makes shoes and won national award for innovation as well. He makes a lot of my shoes. My wallet was made by him, and so you have a lot of just guys doing stuff. Then you come out and say just guys are lazy. You come out and say just guys are broke. They only have sperm to give. Do you know how insulting it is? We have people like Kefiano that own Chillers, own one of the big car stands in Abuja. Are they lazy people? Are they broke people? Is this sperm they are giving? No. You have the owner of Berlin that is from Mangu.
Kido, reshaping hospitality.
We have Plateau men that are doing a lot. We have hospitals now and clinics owned by Plateau men. It didn't used to be the case. It was people from outside Plateau State that were owning these things. We have Plateau men now investing in the print industry. Before it was our brothers, the Hausa, Igbo and Yoruba people that are the majority in that industry. But now we have Plateau men investing in that. And you come online, and the annoying thing is you were in an establishment owned by a Plateau man. It was at the opening of Chillers that you say that. It's insulting and stuff like that. I take it very personally.
True, me too.
So we can't be investing so much trying to make the entire world see that Plateau is and Jos is a place to be, is a place to invest in her manpower, in her intellectual property. We have some of the most talented youths on the plateau. I've traveled to a lot of states. I've done business with a lot of people, even those in Lagos. And if we had the same opportunities, just even in music, just artists will beat a lot of Lagos artists hands down. For every one big artist, Davido, Wizkid, Burna Boy, we love them, we respect them, and for what they've done in the music industry and putting Nigeria on the map. But we have J-Town guys that would do 10 times over.
For every one Davido that you give to me, I can give you 10 just guys that flop him. I will flop him hands down.
Yes.
For every one Burna Boy you give to, I can give you 10 just guys that I know them by name. They will flop him.
Then you come out and say, just boys are lazy. Come on now. And the guy that even said, we are broke. We have sperm to give, and with fake transfer. People like that should be arrested.
Defamation of character.
No, the fake transfer. That means you're a fraud.
You're defrauding people.
You're defrauding people with fake transfer. If he's doing that to girls, that means he has done that to businesses. People like that should be arrested. And you ask them to say it's just cruise. When you're messing up the brand and the image of an entire state and people like that should be arrested.
It's not joking matter anymore.
Because do you know how long it took us to give the rest of Nigeria the current image that they have of Plateau State? Do you know how long? Before we travel to other states and you're coming from just say, oh boy, that place will not just fight, not just killing, this, that. Do you know what it took?
Just yesterday, one of my friends, she's waiting for service, and her dad, she really wants to serve in Jos. She has always wanted to come to Jos, right? And her dad still cannot accept the fact that Jos is safe. And I say, we have a lot of bad PR, we have a lot of convincing to do, but luckily, there's enough evidence to back. And
funny enough, Jos is like one of the safest states in Nigeria currently.
Yes.
Plateau State is so safe, you cannot even phantom it. Like, you can walk down the street of Jos, knowing fully well that nobody is going to come and collect your phone. Nobody is coming to stab you to collect money. Nobody. Like,
you get time to we go finish here maybe by 1 a.m.
Yes,
they
no.
go out.
They go
And
out.
know that we are mobile. Nobody don't challenge me.
Yes.
Nobody. I think there was a time my guys and I hung out at Cruise Yard, and since then I was at Guratop, so I just followed what do they call it? This Shinko Road to go home. It was around 1 a.m. I walked home. I saw other guys, they passed me, and I was the only one. So if it were in some other states, you go see as those group of guys, maybe they come out from their own chilling to see this guy they alone. And guess what? When they came close to me, they said, well done, senior man. And we just, well done, guys. That was it. Honestly, that was it. Yes.
That's how chill.
The whole idea of home of peace and tourism, not be for mouth. Our people are genuinely.
Let me give you one story before we go back to our ranges. One of my friends that came into Jos to school. He schooled in UJ. We schooled together. He came into Jos the first time, and then he was walking on the road, and almost all the mothers on that road were greeting him. He was like, "Wait, what's happening? These people won't kill me." Then his landlord, because I lived with him, we lived together in school. His landlord will send him food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
And it's strange to him.
Yes, he wasn't eating that food for the first. I think for like the first 2 weeks, he wasn't eating that food. He was like, "These people want to kill me." He was not eating it because he was like, "Which kind of people just loves people and like somebody for just loving sake?" He was so surprised. Like everybody greets you, and he was like, "In Lagos, somebody will greet you for what? Why?"
If Lagos is far, Abuja is like that now. I used to work in Abuja and I moved back to start my brand here. And someone said, you make more money in Abuja. I said, it's true. I'll make a lot of money if I was still in Abuja. But the thing is, I'm an artist. I like things with essence. Abuja doesn't have a soul.
Yeah.
Cities like Lagos, as great as they are, they don't have a soul. You cannot really get stranded in this part of the country.
Yes, you cannot.
But if you're stranded in Lagos,
you're fucked.
You're stranded. You're stranded in Abuja. Forget it.
Only God can say.
You could be in Kano. Okay, I served in Kano. I had never been to Kano. It was my first experience. And I went there with locks. At the time that Boko Haram even was a thing. It was Hausa people that were advising me. They would say, Dada, because they found out that I was from Jos and I could say, Sumanka na kwe inda zaka shigafa bazaka fitaba. They were the ones advising me.
Because clearly they knew that.
Because at the time, Boko Haram was a thing in Kano. That was like 2012, 2013, thereabouts. So if I was stubborn to say, well, I thought don't try this. But these are people that didn't know me. Where I used to go to shop, sometimes I'll go there and the man will say, copper, tokubashi kayenti. And he will not take a dime from me. That is how our people are, even on the plateau. There are people that will genuinely help you and not want anything in return. They are not doing it to impress you. They are doing it because that is who plateau people are. Some years ago, I spent a week in Kwampan. I went to do a job. That was 2016. And my experience there, I did not believe. With the way that we were taught to hate different ethnic nationalities on the plateau, there was a time we really didn't like each other. And when I went there, they really didn't care that I was a Birom guy. They just liked me. And these people genuinely just liked me. I was there again 2 years ago that they even gave me a name. So I tell people I'm Birom by birth, Pampan by choice.
That's interesting. So,
okay, I want to say something.
No, okay, you just finish.
Going back to the conversation. Now, there's a trend generally. A girl is coming out to say that Burna Boy slept with her and didn't give her Lamborghini.
And you're proud. How? And do you know there were ladies defending her? That why would you do that? That means they're endorsing hookup culture.
Yes.
Now, they're not even shy. And before you knock, the way you go hide, you go think as you come up from that house for the next 1 week, everybody knows you don't knock. They don't know, but the guilt But now you can proudly come on social media. I remember one lady that made a post here in Jos a while back, and she was like, you knock me and you go tell the world, say you use me. At least if you go knock me, make sure say I come. So it will be me. So I will know that I wasted my sin. I didn't waste my sin. Like, you went on social media, use your...
I feel like the level of dumb is increasing by the day, because okay, now you can make a lot of excuses for this.
He broke this girl's heart. To say tall. Do you understand? No, let's be very factual.
I get you.
So values is from the home front. That's where it starts, and it is easy for your parents to be able to tell who you are by the values, because that's why some parents will say, this is not how I raised you. A parent get to say that because he knows the value he instilled in you and the knowledge he invested in you. But a lot of older people have problems with some of the younger people because they are not even confident in the things they have taught them. If you taught someone rightly, you will be able to contest and correct them when they do certain things. But a lot of older people, for instance, let's say a politician now goes and there was a scandal, EFCC investigating him, he stole $1 billion, and then the same politician do you think he has the guts to tell his son, why did you cheat in school?
No way.
He can't do that. When, as I said earlier, children are not as dumb as you think.
They're not even dumb.
He knows that his father stole that money. But it's his father, so he has to back his father up.
Yes.
He knows that the father has spent the money meant for education in his state or in his constituency, but he used that money to send him abroad. So does that kind of father have the right to correct his son?
No way.
But if the father had made his money legally, sent his son abroad before he went into the polity, that's a different conversation.
True.
But some of the older people don't even have values, so they cannot give what they don't have.
So is this generally like a lost cause for us as a people?
It's not a lost cause.
How can we retrace our steps? How can we come back? Is that possible?
It's very possible, because there's nothing happening in life now that has not happened before. The Bible has said there's nothing new under the sun. Life has a way of redefining itself. See, it will get to a point that it may be worse than this. And at that point, maybe you and I will not be alive. And the people that will be alive will say, there was a time our ancestors did X, Y, Z and it worked and it's better than this. Let's go back to that time.
That style.
And they will start going back. And the time will come again that it will get messed up. And it's a continuum.
Cycle.
And God has designed the earth and the human race in a way that no matter how bad it gets, it will heal itself. It will recycle itself. But that's not justification for us to be careless because we feel that life will it is a vicious circle. Because in history, when they look back, what would they have said that you have achieved as a lady or as a guy? Okay, let us assume, because there are ladies that were into hookup culture and they came out, like the lady I gave an example of, and they are talking about it. Now, when they are looking back at history and studying her life, they'll say, these were the circumstances that led her to this. She was in it for a while. She got out and she went on a campaign educating other people on the disadvantages of hookup culture. Now, her history, it will be well written, and people in the future will say, oh, she changed the tides of her situation. But then again, there are those that they feel, I did hook up, I've made a little money, I'm tired of it, let me just stop, I've invested in this and that, and blah blah, I'm okay. People are not dumb. History would come back and say,
unearth it.
Your granddaughter, your grandmama now hook up now, we know. Do you understand? So when you look at it, right, as bad as it is, there's place for repentance. But how many people know and would accept that hookup culture is wrong?
especially like the way the West has made like everything really simple, with the whole smash or pass era, the whole swipe or
there's no accountability.
Yes, so
that's why. And as you mentioned earlier, people don't want to be emotionally invested, and it's because everything is superficial now. It's what I can get, not what I can invest. That's why I mentioned, if you're there for the long run, it's not smash and pass. And nothing in life it's easy. Everything has to be built
to last.
Platonic relationship, business relationship, romantic relationships, even money is built
to last.
So if you don't invest in it, even the hookup that you think you're making money to get some things, it will not last.
Well, that shit is just dumb to me, but I don't know.
It's dumb. And the truth is, because some of us are really traditional, so it will not make sense.
To us, to a lot of us.
It doesn't make sense. Do you think if, let's say, let me not touch that button.
What is that?
So, there was a time whereby in Europe, let me say Europe now, because they're the ones that projected Christianity, or what we know as some form of morality now, right? They had mistresses. You see people like, I think Leonardo's dad was like a bastard. His mom was like a mistress to the Vinci Man, for example. And at this end, polygamy was accepted. Do you understand? In Asia too, form of polygamy was accepted at certain parts of Asia. And Asia, or Middle East Asia, some parts of Asia still, Asia generally, the only thing I like with them is how they hold on to their culture and they're evolving with the times. Do you think by any reason, so now you don't have to personalize in this case, do you think by any reason, if, and also now they've removed the aid that comes for ART.
HIV they show for face now.
So
now, I think
they can show in the face.
HIV even is one of the least things people should be worried about. There are STIs that some would kill you faster than HIV/AIDS. There's herpes that doesn't have a cure. You have herpes, that's it.
Because I came across this post, I don't know if you guys saw it. It was an anonymous like screenshot of one lady that like caught the virus, and she said she was going to like spread it by all means. She was going to be going by
now the thing is,
only God knows whether that thing was true or not.
About that, I think a lot of people that were sharing those type of posts were just doing it for social media attraction to their page, because some of them are really cooked stuff. Are not really. Is it that easy for you? You just, because you have HIV, you just start going meeting everybody. I want to give you HIV. I want to give you HIV. Or you just think that men are dumb, that at every impulse you just give HIV. And then again, if you're HIV positive and you're taking your retroviral drug, that means you have the load is very low. So even if you have intercourse with someone who is not, you cannot pass it. Because at that point, even when you have undergo a test, it will not show.
Not even show.
So when I saw stuff like that, to me, we have too many people. We are basking in the availability of information, but we are a dumb generation. Because a simple Google
blow our minds with this storm.
A simple Google
search. Can we recover from this storm? Can we recover from this storm? Take that again, please. We're basking in information, yet we're a set of dumb people.
It's the truth. Because a simple Google search will ask a lot of questions you have.
Answer a lot of questions.
Will answer a lot of questions you have. Furthermore, you cannot tell me that in your circle or in your environment or in your church, your community, you don't know a medical practitioner or a lawyer or someone in a field, because some things don't make sense to me, where maybe you're asked a question in school and you use your phone or your data and chat me up to ask me, please, what is this? And me that you asked will ask Google
and
come and tell you. Can you see how dumb it is? Because a lot of people now in our society, they just feel the internet is just for cruise and vibes. let me just be there on the internet. And we are a very absent generation. We are absent because I'll be here and I'm chatting with someone that is not here. Like I want to be here, so you guys need my attention, but it's not here because I'm chatting with someone that it's not here. When I get to the place that that person is, I'll be chatting with you guys. Can you see how dumb the whole concept is? And that's part of the reason in more recent times I've been trying to be more present. Thank God I was born, some of us were born in the 80s and we enjoyed life when there was no smartphones. We enjoy human interaction.
Yeah, human interaction. We enjoyed people.
And you can't take it away from us. That's why sometimes when I go out to hang out with my guys, sometimes we come to Cruise Yard now once a month to play ball. I don't even remember I have a mobile phone. We just laugh. Or sometimes when we're together, we grew up together. All of us, growing up, we didn't have smartphones. We spent quality time together. It was about gisting, video games. As we are playing video games, somebody's cooking. It was, and we still do that. When I go to meet my guys, we rarely remember we have phones.
That's how we ought to be. So now, okay, so I think that was just a quick detour. But basically, I'm just saying the way certain beliefs accommodate some form of multiple partners, so to say.
Polygamy.
Yes, or polygamy. Do you think that's going to make things get a little better?
Yes.
Do you also think if, let's say, ladies had more access to social, like we're on higher socioeconomically, right? Do you think they wouldn't resort
this is a conversation entirely different.
But let me just respond.
Just respond briefly. We can just end this.
One, I'm pro polygamy because look at the world population. Women dwarf men maybe 3 or 4 to 1. So if every man marries one woman, what happens to the rest? Who will marry them? And they want to get married.
And they're coming out in church every Sunday to come and receive anointing to marry.
And it's very funny that some will tell you we don't need men, we don't need men. I saw something in this Hallelujah challenge that they said dress like your testimony or something. And a great percentage of the women were dressing in wedding gowns. So everybody should marry one wife now. Then who will marry the remaining way they wear wedding gown?
Just the life of ourselves.
If you want to be monogamous, it's fine. But there's nothing wrong with polygamy, scripturally or culturally.
Well,
that's a conversation for another day.
We are going to handle this conversation for another day. But then for now, it's high time we draw the curtain on this one. We've had a very, very long and elaborate conversation about this whole thing. And I believe that people should be able to have an open mind to the realities of the truth. It may hurt you. That's one thing about the truth. The truth will hurt you when you listen to it, when you hear it.
The truth is, even you and I don't like it. The truth is, it's not supposed to pamper anyone. We don't like it.
Yeah. So guys, it was such a great time to be here again to do this with you guys. We hope that next week you'll be here with us, Friday 6 p.m. Please follow us on all social media platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook,
Spotify,
Twitter,
drop a review
Spotify.
as well.
Please comment, just give us a buzz, just drop a review and all of that. And I promise that we'll be back here. Of course, we're gonna be back here next week. So see
bigger and better.
Take care, be safe. Bye bye.
Yeah, take care, guys.